finally, romance titles are getting the recognition they deserve. And that's because romance books are really about so much more than just romance, especially in teen. There's a lot of action in them, there's a lot of emotional drama in them, and they're just really fantastic romance books coming out in teen at the moment. If you are a romance book fan, or if you just like books that have a lot of emotion and character development, these are going to be the books for you. So the selection has been getting a lot of press, but there's another book by Kira Cass that is just as good, if not better. And the best thing is a standalone. So if you don't want to commit to a full series, definitely go for this one. It's called The Siren, and it's about a siren who falls in love with a man that she is supposed to kill. This book was actually recommended to me by a teen volunteer, and I am definitely putting it on this list because it was an awesome recommendation. The people in the book Delirium believe that love is a disease and that you must have a surgery when you turn 18 to remove love from your brain. The main character in this series falls in love just a couple months before she's due to have her surgery. Matched is set in a dystopian world where people are matched with the person that they're supposed to be with forever and ever. And there's this huge computer algorithm that basically tells you you are going to be a perfect match with this other person. Well, when the main character goes to her matching ceremony, she sees one face, and it happens to be the face of her best friend, so she's really excited about this. But then another face appears on her screen for just a second or two and then disappears. So she has to try to figure out what exactly happened, which leads her into this whole thing about how the matching system actually works and its purpose. So this is perfect if you like a little bit of dystopian mixed in with your romance. Caraval is a really interesting world, and I haven't seen much like it at all. It's a world that's kind of a mix of like a carnival and a city that's a little bit reminiscent of Venice. So these two sisters get this invitation to Caraval, and they're very excited because they finally get away from their father, and they get separated. And so the one sister has to try to find the other. And instead she finds this kind of like darker underworld to this carnival atmosphere. It's definitely a world that you will never read again.
Hi everyone, it's Miss Heather, and I want to recommend The Next Great Jane by K.L. Going. So Jane is an aspiring author, and she's super excited when a published author comes to her small town in Maine. Only the speaking engagement is adults only, so naturally Jane sneaks in and comes face to face with this boy named Devin, whom she immediately despises. Much to her chagrin, she discovers he's the author's son. And when a hurricane blows through and the author and her family move to the small town, Jane and Devin find themselves thrown together in really unexpected ways. This was such a cute book, and I loved Jane's interest in writing. Surprisingly, I also loved learning about plankton, and you'll understand what I mean if you also like science and decide to read this book. This was a super sweet story with strong friendships, family troubles, a hint of romance, a happy ending, and I highly recommend.
5 Feet Apart is a book that has a lot of resonance, especially this year. It's about a girl who has a disease where she cannot be around people who have the same disease that she does. They have to stay at least 6 feet apart, kind of like we're supposed to be staying 6 feet apart right now from each other. She ends up falling in love with a boy who she can't be close to in any physical way. So it's how do you develop a romance when you can't even be near each other? This is an awesome book, but what's really cool is there's a second book by this author that came out this year, Rachel Lippincott. So definitely check that book out as well. And then if you love Netflix romance movies, this next book is going to be perfect for you. And it's called You Should See Me in a Crown. It's about a girl who has this dream of going to this one college, and she applies for the scholarship and is really hoping she's going to get it, and then gets denied. And it basically kills her dream. She knows that her grandparents can't afford to send her to this school, and so she's trying to figure out a way to come up with money. So she ends up entering this competition for prom in order to try to win the reward money that the people in the prom court get. But she is anything but prom queen material. She's totally not the kind of person who wins this thing. But her friends band around her and they try to get her to win prom queen. This is an awesome book that I really want Netflix to turn into a movie because it's perfect for it. The cast of characters is amazing. It would just absolutely make an amazing romance movie and is by far one of the best books to come out this year. But not least, if you are finally on the Hamilton bandwagon, welcome everyone. I've been a fan forever. We have Hamilton sing-alongs at the library. You've definitely got to read Alex and Eliza. This is the love story of Alex and Eliza drawn out a little bit more. In the musical, their entire love story takes place in like a 3-minute song. But this book really goes into what Alex and Eliza's courtship was like and is the perfect read for any Hamilton fan. For more awesome book suggestions, go to www.cromaine.org, that's the Cromaine Library website, or check out the Teen Blog, which has tons and tons more reading recommendations. This has been Carolyn from Cromaine Library. Happy reading, and thank you so much for watching.